Hello and welcome back to Not Ready for Primetime Crafting with Tanya Gale. Happy Easter and Blessed Ostara. To celebrate the season of resurrection and rebirth, I've created very simple reverse canvas designs using smart vinyl and the Cricut Joy. The supplies you're going to need for this project will be, of course, a Cricut Joy, smart vinyl, and you can choose any color you prefer. I chose this pretty sparkly pink and a pretty lavender, a scraper or burnisher, a weeder. We're going to use measuring tape because we need to measure the working area we need for design space. Transfer tape, you're going to need some canvas, and I purchased this canvas at Target, otherwise known as Target. A wooden frame, some chalk paint, and some tacky glue, which we're going to use to adhere the frame to the canvas once we apply the vinyl. And of course, I will require that a chocolate peanut butter egg be given to me because reasons. I purchased these wooden frames and also the canvas at Target, and these frames had canvas wrapped around them, and I removed the canvas for other projects and just had the frames left over. They were just plain wooden frames that I took some chalk paint to. This is Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint, and the color is called Ombre de Sage, or Ombre de Sage, however you want to pronounce it, or sage or light green. And I use that to cover the plain wood on here and to give it a little bit more of pop feel to it. This paint, I got at Hobby Lobby. You can get it at any craft store that you like. But the first thing we need to do before we jump into the design space is to measure our working area. So get our little measuring tape and just kind of go in here. Oh, that's 7 on the nose. And, whoops, don't let that move. That's about 5, so 7 by 5. That's my working area for the inside of the frame. This canvas is a working area of actually 7 by 9. So our image of 5 by 7 will fit perfectly into this frame and into our working area. Let's jump into design space, and I will show you the design that I created using Cricut Access images and what it's going to look like and how to cut it out. Here we are in Cricut Design Space, and here are the images that I'm going to use to cut out using the Cricut Smart Vinyl. And I've already went ahead and created the working area that we measured out previously. And we are always going to do this to ensure that our images are sized appropriately, that they will fit into the working area we measured. So that's what I've done so far, but let me show you where I went to get these images that I'm going to use for this design. It's very simple. You just want to scroll over to your left and click on images, and in the search area I just typed in Easter bunny, and it pulled up 1600 results. Yikes, there's a lot of them. And what you can do is you can narrow this down a bit by operation type. Just click on operation type and it pulls down these 3 options. If you click on cut only, it will reduce that to 1400 images. So I'm just going to scroll till I find the image that I wanted to use, which is this one. And let me just share with you just a little bit of information here. You're going to see a little eye icon. If you click on that, what happens is it gives you a little bit more information about this image, and it also gives you this image code. You can jot this down and save it somewhere for future use. What you can do is, if you have this code, you can type it into the search bar and it will pull up this image directly instead of going through the search and going and finding it and pulling it. So I'm just going to click back on the eye to bring the image back. It's also telling me that I'm subscribed since I'm a Cricut Access member. This is an image, the additional images you have access to, and also there's a green A here that indicates this is an access image. So I'm going to click on this and say insert images. And it's linked down here. Now for Easter eggs, I just did the same thing. So I want to add eggs to this design. And basically the eggs that I have are, I chose 3 different designs that are easily weedable but kind of have a modern aesthetic. So this is one of the ones I chose. I chose this one and this one. And they're in different colors, so you can just click multiple times and click all the, and then you can see they're all lining up down here. So you can click all the images you need for your project, and all of them, as you can see, have the A, so they are Cricut Access images. And then once you have everything you need, you just click on Insert Images, and all the images will pile up into your design space. And it was just a matter of sorting through everything, changing the colors and resizing according to my working area. So I'm going to just X out of that because I've already went in and did that. So I've resized this down, and we can take a look and double check. I'm going to place it right on the mat, on the working area. And I line these up, I align them, and I group them together so they're easier to manage with the eggs. And I'm going to place them right about there. So it looks pretty cute. So this is going to be the sparkly pink, and this is going to be that lovely lavender. And it fits into our working area. So we are actually ready to go to cut. Oh, and one other thing I'd like to share with you is, if you notice, my background's a little different color. And I like to change it for the seasons, and let me show you how to do that if you so choose. What you're going to do is you're going to go down to the bottom right and click on blank canvas, and at the top function bar you're going to see a little selection for color. Click on that, and it's going to bring up a bunch of colors, like preset colors. You can click on advanced. If you happen to know the hex code, you can put it in here, or you can just use this, you can scroll through this color grading and find the particular color you want. And what that will do is change, if I do that, I can change the background color of my working area, just to give it a little bit of a more of a festive feel. So that's what I did. That's why you see it's a little different color. Let me just, there's no right or wrong way. You can choose whatever color you prefer. Kind of like something a little lighter. There we go. Click on OK, and now you have this nice colorful background, but you can still see the grid lines. And speaking of the grid lines, I have the grid lines selected with the grid lines in between each square. If I don't want that, you go up to this top left corner and click on it, and the grid lines will go away. Click on it again, you'll just get the 1-inch grid lines. Click on it again, and you'll get the full set with the grid lines in between each inch. And that's where I'd like to keep it, but you can set it however you want. It's quite easy to do. And then you can, if you don't want this color anymore, you can click on this again, bring up the color, and change it back to white. And there's your white background. Let's play with that. I kind of like this. There we go. Looks pretty. So that's how I changed the color, just some quick things you can do within the design space. Well, right now we are ready to cut. I changed the colors of the design so it can reflect what my vinyl looks like, so I can get a preview of the finished product. But we are really ready to cut, so I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to hide it because we do not want to cut the square. All we want to do is cut our Easter graphic and our Easter eggs. So I'm going to click Make It, and it's sorting the project by matte color. Since we're using smart materials, we do not need a matte. And as you can see, it has separated the images into two mats. We do not have to mirror this because we are just laying vinyl down. We're not doing any heat transfer. And then we are ready to cut. We're going to hit continue. We're going to connect our Joy. Browse all material. This is, I'm going to go to favorites. No, all material. And we are going to go to, this is not, X out of here, please. Okay, now we are going to go to popular and we're going to click on smart vinyl, permanent. That's what we're using. And the pressure setting is default. And the Cricut Joy, the software, determines what that pressure means, what blade depth that means, what speed that means. You can change it. You can make it more or less. And I'm not quite sure what is defined as more and less. I simply will leave it on default. It's telling me to load my fine point blade and then load the material onto the machine. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we are being told to place our smart vinyl in the machine. And we've already loaded in the cutting blade. And now it's just checking to see if it has enough material. And click go. Okay, I'm going to click unload and unload this material. And now we're going to continue. It's going to tell me to continue and to load the lavender material. Oh, saying not enough material. Okay, not a problem. I'm going to unload this. I thought I cut enough. It's not a problem. This happens. Let me go get my cutter. Told you, we are not ready for prime time. Alright, I'm going to cut so much of this material. It's going to tell me, no! Enough! That should be enough for the 3 eggs. Put that away. Let's load the material again. And let's see. Oh, let me just put this here and I'll get the weeding tool out. And we'll weed when they're both printed or cut. I chose these images partly because they're cute, but also I look at their ease of weedability. And that plays a huge factor in my design. Let me click unload and we will get, and I'm going to bring my trash bin out and I'm going to hit unload, click finish, and we are done. There we go. So now we are ready to weed this material. Now I don't think there's going to be enough left. I'm just gonna, oh, I like that. Let me put the Cricut, push the Cricut back a bit. Oh, this is gonna take a while. Okay. Weed through all of these. These reminds me of the fun days I used to have just coloring eggs with the family and accidentally dropping the eggs and knocking over the ink. Oh yeah, I had fun. I think part of the fun is just making a mess. And that's about it. I'm going to take scissors and I'm going to cut the excess backing material. It'll just make it easier for me to apply it. There we go. There's a seam here. Okay, let me take all of this into trash. Trash back here. And now the next thing we need to do is just apply the transfer tape in order to place it onto the canvas. I happen to have my transfer tape right here and it's cut to size. Just going to lay that on there and save this backing because you can reuse the transfer tape. And apply the transfer tape. And I like that it's clear. Okay, so now we've applied the tape. We are going to burnish it on both sides. And let's see how well it will transfer. Oh. The burnishing can take many minutes. At least that's what in my experience. I'm really pushing down on this on both sides. No. No. Other channels you see, they just kind of do this and it transfers over. That's not this kind of channel. As you see. All right, I give up. Let's get on to our next adventure with the eggs. Yay, the eggs transferred. And actually what I'm going to do is place the frame on and then place the vinyl. This does not want to come up. hope you can get parts of it up. And then once it gets started, success! Okay, so now I'm going to take this if the eggs can be moved. I'm going to use this. Maybe right to there, a little offset. No, that's going to drive me nuts. Okay, let's see. The eggs are actually kind of cute. And you're just going to have to play around with it and align it until you get it quite right where you want it. I think that's fine right there. Yeah, I kind of like that. And now you take the burnisher again and you simply apply the transfer. And I'm doing one sheet at a time. And since this gave me such a hard time, fingers crossed, this lays flat. And then if it doesn't, we burnish, but gently and slowly. There we go. I'm gonna lay down the eggs. Actually, that looks kind of cute. Oops. I'm just going to use my little... Again, you just have to gently and take your time with this. Just to kind of peel, slowly peel this. Especially this is a kind of delicate design. Ah, success! And you can save this tape for other transfers. Oh my gosh, that came out pretty good. My happy Easter and my Easter eggs. I think that came out. The last thing I'm going to do is just apply the tacky glue to adhere the frame to this design. And what I do is I put a heavy weight on it for a few minutes to ensure this tacky glue will bind to this material. And that's it, and I will show you what it looks like on my fireplace mantle. I think this came out really nice. I mean, it's a quick and easy way to completely customize some decor for your own home. And on that note, I wish you and your family a joyous Easter holiday filled with fun, family, and lots of chocolate.